that's money. You don't owe me any money. I asked for your license and registration.
We turn now to that 15-year-old boy who was denied a heart transplant. Getting a second chance now, though. An Atlanta hospital is reversing its position, putting him back on the transplant list after his outraged parents went public, claiming he was singled out because of bad grades and bad behavior.
Just hours after ABC News began looking into this, the mother says the hospital reversed course and had a change of heart. It comes at the right time because the boy has just months to live. Anthony Stokes plays chess in an Atlanta Children's Hospital, battling an enlarged heart. And in a new interview overnight, the 15-year-old's family says there's hope he will live.
They just had a change of heart.
It's a sudden reversal. The family telling us the hospital now says Stokes is back on the heart transplant list. In a letter to the family removing Stokes from the list, the hospital cited a history of non-compliance. Stokes' mother says doctors were concerned because her son had a rough history and that he had problems in the past.
Resources really limited, and we also know that when programs decide to not transplant people, it's done very carefully and not easily.
We're getting an inside look at the gunshot fire during a botched burglary that missed an elderly woman by an inch. That led to a high-speed chase and then an innocent pedestrian nearly getting run over. We also just learned this. The driver who led police on that chase died at the hospital a short time ago. CBS 46's Mike Palutzka has been on the scene all afternoon. Mike, what else can you tell us tonight?
Scott, we're getting a lot more information tonight. We're told that the driver is 17 years old. His name is Anthony Stokes, and we're told by the Roswell Police Department that he was actually driving a stolen car out of Dunwoody. He stole that car moments before the burglary. He wrapped that car around the pole you're looking at right here and sent a pedestrian to the hospital when he hit her. This is the bullet hole left behind from a flustered burglary suspect. Police say the masked man kicked in the door of this Roswell home, but didn't realize an elderly woman was there too. Surprised, police say he shot at the woman as she ran to a back room and called 911. The suspect took off in a black car.
5-10 minutes later, the vehicle was spotted on Alpharetta Street.
That led to a high-speed chase down Alpharetta Highway. Tire marks show where 17-year-old Anthony Stokes couldn't make the turn. Unable to stop, Stokes jumped the curb, hit another car, then slammed into a pedestrian.
She got hit by the car and she went 10-15 feet in the air.
Tony Collada saw the whole thing, including the suspect pinned in the car. At that point, there was no escape.
And I'm so sorry about the lady that got hit.
Georgia State Patrol are the lead investigators on the crash. They will determine if chase procedures were followed.
When we responded to the house, the lady, the homeowner, said she was shot at. That puts us, at high alert and concern for the safety at large and for ourselves when we're, looking for a suspect.
What's that right there? Okay. Can I get your license and registration, please? Ma'am, that's money.
I know.
Why are you giving me money?
How much I owe you?
You don't owe me any money. I asked for your license and registration.
Like, you want to check my registration? Go ahead. I'm going home.
Have you been drinking?
No, what do you want? I just want to go home.
All right. I need you to put the money back in your purse. Turn off your vehicle. All right. Right now, you're getting arrested for the weed. I pulled you over because you were speeding.
Where was I?
And you reek of alcohol.
I don't care.
You've got an open container in your passenger side. And, yeah. Do you have any questions for me?
No.
Okay.
What?
Dude, I don't even know, bro. I've never come across that much just spilled weed. This is just everywhere. And we found the bag.
Found it?
Yeah. She stuffed it between the seat. Oh, and it's spilled all over there. It's just all in that vehicle. I don't know what.
That's personal use. Come on, take me in.
That's personal use?
Yeah, personal use. What? I smoke weed. What?
Thank you for dressing her for me. Do me a favor, step out of your vehicle. Stop right there.
You see too much money on me, huh?
No, ma'am. It's when you were offering me the money.
That's what mowing costs. When you suck.
Alright, ma'am. I'm so sorry about
I
that.
don't care who, yeah.
$2,000 in here. And she bribed me.
How I bribed them?
And when I pulled her over.
Because what? I suck for a living. He said 2,000. Please count it out.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Make sure he counted out right.
She's saying 2,000.
2,000, right?
I've never been so glad for these cameras in my life.
White man, black bank robber, same person? A Florida man has pleaded guilty to committing a string of robberies with the help of an elaborate disguise. At least 6 banks were robbed of a total of $15,000 in the Ohio area earlier this year. 5 of the banks were robbed on a single day in April. Witnesses said the suspect was a black man, and surveillance video backed up the reports. Until police officers got a tip. Officers searched an Ohio hotel and found an exploded dye pack from one of the banks inside a vehicle. They arrested 30-year-old Conrad Zederek, a white man who clearly does not resemble the black man witnesses had seen. During the robberies, he wore a high-quality mask to cover his skin, using the hood of his sweatshirt to cover his hair. He had a whole new identity. Investigators say it was the best disguise they've ever seen. Zederek, who is not a U.S. citizen, faces up to 35 years in prison and deportation at the end of his prison term. Diane Kepley, The Associated Press.
For 86-year-old Louise Howard,
I'll be 87 in about a week.
The past week has been a busy one.
You can say that again.
Just days ago, a woman broke into her home while Howard was inside.
I'm not the type to scare, but I have always said if somebody broke in my house, if I can get them, I'm going to get them.
And get them she did, grabbing a gun and shooting the thief.
It hit her arm somewhere.
As for the woman accused of doing it, police arrested 36-year-old Melina Nicole Dowell Wednesday after learning she pawned a wedding ring.
It was inscribed inside, and I told them what it said.
It was Howard's, who's happy she'll get it back. But there's something else.
I want my gun back.
Now accustomed to fending for herself, Howard is using another in the meantime. Plus, a few changes to make it even harder to get inside her home.
I've never been scared or anything like that.
And encourages others to learn from her story.
I hope they all get a gun and keep it, if they're in bed, under their pillow, like I do.